New tonight, the family of Lexington's latest murder victim is remembering him. 16-year-old Christopher Valdez was shot and killed Wednesday. That shooting happened near Pine Meadows Park. WKYT's Grayson Passmore talked with his family today about the memory he leaves behind.
Singing his favorite song.
Everywhere he went, he would always smile and have that joy with him. He would see somebody and he'd be like, "God bless you, God bless you."
Jacqueline Garcia grew up next door to her uncle, Christopher Valdez. They had plans to take on senior year at Lafayette High School together this fall.
Every time I would cry or something, he would always be like, "Don't cry, don't cry. You're always gonna be my little girl, my princess."
But when she needs him most, Garcia doesn't have her best friend to lean on anymore. On Wednesday, 16-year-old Valdez was shot and killed near Pine Meadows Park. While two other teens police say were involved in the shooting were being treated at local hospitals, Valdez lay dying in a creek for 2 hours until a neighbor found his body.
You know, I remember the last time I saw him was before July 3rd. Sitting right here with a couple of friends. You know, this seems unreal. He's always been a good person. He's someone with God.
Valdez was happiest on his skateboard and loved watching football. His parents, sister, and niece meant the world to him. And his friends say they were more like family.
And he was a really, really good person.
While they tearfully shared how much he'll be missed.
And I loved him a lot. And everyone loved him a lot.
They still found the ability to laugh.
Every time you were with them, it would always be fun, always an adventure, always something new, always happy, never mad at all.
Because after all,
He always wanted to see everybody laughing. He never liked seeing anybody crying or anything.
in Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Lexington police have not released any new details in their investigation. We do know they arrived on scene on Tazewell Drive a little after 2, and the Fayette County coroner says Valdez's time of death was just after 4:30 that afternoon.